Paranormal Sarah Soderlund here. Oh, let me make sure I'm clear. Thank you so much for joining me. I have to apologize. We're in the packing phase, okay? I'm down to 3 days left in Minneapolis, and then we are going to be up north in the forest, and all of my updates are going to be in different places, but they're going to be beautiful with forage and trees and hawks and all sorts of cool things. And so the no makeup and hair, it's a new moon, okay? Okay? That means that I'm focusing on the inside stuff. Now, this morning, yesterday, I spent a lot of time doing some of my spell work and my conjuring and my meditating and really getting ready for today's new moon. And it's going to be peaking here, not too far. Let's see, I've got it. It's going to be at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, give or take Eastern Standard Time. So wherever you're at, it's just kind of one of those moments that, like I had said last night in my podcast, it's an opportunity to celebrate. And who doesn't need one of those, right? It's a good excuse, reason to connect. And I have a lot of clients who are joining me for the first time and ask a lot of the same questions of, how do I get started? How in the heck am I using this new moon stuff? When someone comes over to me and is like, Mercury, Gemini, Cancer, I don't know what that means. Well, I'm here to tell you that I try and bring with me my psychology background and then my psychic intuition and my growth, but then my life experience and my passion for people and culture and belief systems. And I shared on my blog that intuitive growth is extremely subjective. It's an independent journey. And so it's very difficult to ever say that you're doing something right, or this is the way that you do it, or this is the best time, or whatever. There's only suggestions. And, it's dancing naked in the gray. You have to be able to take those suggestions and say, how can I use this? How does it work for me? And know how to harness that power. And so I shared on my blog that what I've been doing lately is tuning more into, in 2018, I knew that this was going to be a big year for spiritual change. The Farmer's Almanac, the Witch's Almanac, all the almanacs out there are like, listen, 2012, the year's supposed to end. The end of the world as we know it. And in 2018, there's going to be some huge planetary shifts, spiritual shifts. And I know that my body is one with Mother Nature, and I respond and interact with the shifts and energies of the universe. When there are big tsunamis or there's a full moon, I have noticed, call it suggestion if you will, but the self-fulfilling prophecy that I really do see the signs of connection there. There's a higher sense of certain things at certain times. And some of those things are pretty generalized to the planetary alignments, the energy shifts in the universe, the timing of certain things, the moon phase, the sun phase. If we have a big coronal flare, how does that affect you? How does that affect the world around you and the people around you, and sociology and biology? How is the world going to be moving about? And how is that going to change you? Can you work with it? It's like learning to skateboard or learning to snowboard or learning this balance, hand-eye coordination, purpose, interest. There's got to be a lot of things coming together for it to be free. It can take time, it can take practice. Sometimes it's just finding what works for you. So, without getting crazy, I've got all of my notes here, and there's a few different people that I sit back and I read or I watch, and then I go and I converse with, and I kind of touch base with the women in my life or the supportive people in my life. And this new moon, today, June 13th, the new moon is a Gemini new moon. And we're that tabula rasa is what I usually call it. It's that clean slate. A good friend of mine, her and I have been working with this new essential oil company. She's worked with them for a long time, and we're trying some new branding work. And she said, I'm going to share with this essential oil process how I use this in my spell work, because essential oils and aromatherapy and that sensory movement, I love to utilize the trees around me, and for the last month, I've been learning about linden blossom, about the culture of that tree, how it seeds, how it flowers, how it um, pollinates. I've been watching the bees and taking their pictures as they pollinate and seeing where they go. And the linden blossom just started blooming, and I learned that it pairs with cedar, and I learned that it pairs well with lime. And so I want to sit and meditate with these three scents, and then like ratatouille, I want to put them together and see how I feel when I sit in the essence of those trees and those energies. And to her, that's what she was doing for the new moon, because she said, you know, the new moon for me is darkness. You walk out in the forest on a new moon and you think about how Mother Earth has to adjust to that. The predators that have enhanced vision, the owls, the raptors, these things that can just have acute hunting ability, they have an edge. If you can use your intuition, if you can use your other senses when you can't quite see as much, you have an edge. And if you can ground and control, because oftentimes it's our imagination that gets crazy and out of hand, right? That's where we start to get scared and nervous. So coming into Gemini, what does Gemini generalize? Well, the energy that we associate, the traits that we associate with Gemini is communication. I often think of Gemini with the twins, right? And I think of twins that I know in my life. I grew up with twins in cheerleading. I grew up with twins in my high school. I grew up with twins later. And there's actually a pair of twins that I follow online because I'm good friends with their father, and then later met them, the Finfolk production twins, the mermaids of reality that bring dreams to life. If you don't follow the Finfolk productions, they make mermaid tales, and they took this dream of something that where people were like, eh. Anyway, Gemini is about twins, and there's a yearning, a deep connection out in the universe, a certain balance, a certain thinking, stewing, kind of trying to see it all, but you kind of are aware that there's just some things you'll never know, like a twin flame. There's a certain amount of disconnect and connect that you feel within and outside of yourself. And Gemini is this great fickle, an online astrologer, her name is April Kent, she said, Gemini is fickle until you've lived long enough to learn the tyranny of the definition. And I thought that was a perfect way to describe Gemini, and it's this activating your thinking. It's the realm of imagination. It's finding patterns. It's watching Inception and it making sense. It's finding a divine connection in things, and mostly within self, because right now is the new moon. So you have to look within self. With the darkness all around you, you can't expect anything. You have to close your eyes and use your senses, use your heart, use your mind. And so, like the Finfolk twins, you're going to have a lot of the outside world saying, good luck. Let's see you try. Whoa, really? You're going to do that? There's a lot of conflict and things happening, and people, you know, you're feeling this yearning. And you know that with great risk comes great reward. And whatever present moment you're in right now, whatever you can really manifest, whatever it is that you're working with, the tools around you and within you, mostly within you, this new moon has that ability to platform you, boom, to the next place of change, the next place of awakening. For me, I kept seeing the repetitive vision, especially as I watch another astrologer online, Bahati Life. I just love her energy. I've started following her recently. She's fantastic. And I can tell when she's talking that she's conjuring, and when I watch her, I can see certain energies, and I just see a lot of fish. And she had said, interesting enough, she said, this is kind of that time in the new moon where we are going to be possibly treading unknown water. For those of you who are willing to go out, and I was thinking Jaws, like those people willing to go out in the deep end, into the dark water. You can't see where you're going. It's like Josh Gates in an underground cave. You have to really trust that you have a purpose and that whatever is on the other side, you just can't be where you're at anymore. That this yearning, you got to use it for divine change. And you know what? That taco truck that you've been wanting, you're going to do it. And that big career change that you've been thinking about, fuck it, we're going to do it. You know, this is that time. Or if you really feel like in your present moment you're really worried about what other people are thinking and all of this stuff is just, it's too much for you and you're overwhelmed, then you need to use this new moon as a grounding. Okay? Because I'm going to tell you right now, astrology wise, some of the things, and you don't have to be psychic to know some of the things that is going to happen around us because of how people and how biology reacts to these shifts. So this big intuitive shake, right? It's happening right now. A big thing about that is because of Mercury. Mercury's coming. Mercury. It's that tiny, very first one, right? It spins super, super fast. And Mercury is about manifesting. It's about riding that merry-go-round at the playground and someone spin, and you just let go. Okay, Mercury is, you're going to see all the details and everything. It's going to be buzzing by, and eventually it becomes this beautiful bouquet of smear. And either it's going to be art, and you're going to close your eyes and have an epiphany, or you're going to have a panic attack. And this really is that moment to decide, because the reason I say that is sometimes Mercury just comes and goes and we think like, and it goes. But the next big thing that you have happening astrologically is Cancer. Okay, and this Cancer movement is coming right behind that. And Cancer is, I always think of the word Cancer, so I think about purging, I think about letting go, I think about what Cancer does to a person. As far as like a diagnosis, it changes you. It allows you to see new things and say, you know what, I don't care about my bills. I don't care about the trivial things. I don't care about all those things Mercury is showing me. I have to live today, man. I've got to do it today because I just got Cancer and I have to do what I can every day. And it's that living in the moment. And so then in my head, I'm like, well, I know that that's a cognitive trick and that's association, word association, but what does Cancer really mean? Well, Cancer is do it. Cancer is focus through impulse. It is being able to breathe through the earthquake. It is being able to use the tools around you and function well when you don't know things. And so what I love about this message specifically is that the way the new moon is, we're treading out into that unknown water like Jaws, right? With Gemini, with a deep yearning that something's on the other side and that we've got to go do it. And then we know that the world around us is kind of predatorial and that Cancer instigates reaction. Some people are on edge and some people feel provoked in Cancer. Some people become real bitchs because they don't know how to let go and they're overwhelmed in these times. But Cancer really allows you to go, it's like somebody reaching up and tickling your toes in that dark water and you go, oh shit. In that moment, start swimming. Okay, you know what? There's only eels in this water. I know where I'm at. Ground and breathe. That was probably you know what? I'm probably having a finfolk moment. I'm probably swimming with a mantis. I better go back. No, I can't go back. Keep swimming because that might be a freaking shark. Don't panic though. Don't panic because they can feel panic. You know, it's like Cancer is that feeling as you're in a haunted house and you're going up the staircase last and something's on your toes. Woo! You have to be able to go, demons, schmeemons, probably just a hellhound. I'm walking. I don't want to trip. I'm good. See, I made it. I'm good. And hopefully you can use that feeling of Cancer, that over the, top of the roller coaster as that, no, there is a way. You have it within you. There's a way through it. and you've got it, and it's coming from within. I don't know if you're going to use essential oils, you're going to use my monthly curio box, if you're going to just meditate or do yoga or eat donuts, I don't know, but we're going to see some repetitive deja vu. You're going to have some dreams, some night terrors, that repetitive dream you have, 3 or 4 times in your life. It's going to happen because air signs of Mercury are moving with Cancer. That's water and intuition and emotions. So emotions are on high, people are kind of in response mode, and they're having repetitive lessons come up. And that's kind of a struggle because we see that repetitive lesson and we think, did I fudge up the spiritual path? Paranormal Sarah told me to go left at the Gemini. What just happened here? Shit. Go back. Go back. And you can't do that, spiritually speaking. And this is what I'm saying, is that there is no right or wrong. This is that moment of being a fish in space and be challenged and know that it's going to come from within, and this is a breakout. It's a new start. There's going to be new conversations. There's going to be new relationships to be built. This is a time to prioritize self. That big risk for big reward. The now or never. Doesn't matter who you are. There's an anticipation and yearning in the air, intuitively speaking. Mercury is going to make some people obsess over the pieces. You're going to see some friends and family members, some people you really care about, being like, look at how it's square. And you're like, give it to me. You want to see what's on it? I'll put it. No, but wait. Let's look at it some more. Okay, it says it's a sand disk. Yeah, I know what it is. Just let me put it in my computer and we'll see what it. No, I don't want to break it. Oh shoot, I think I broke it. You know what, we better put it down. I don't know for sure. Let's think about it for a while. You're going to see a lot of this crap going on, and that is going to be frustrating for you, and you're going to have to say, you know what? I love you, but I need to take a break. And you have to be out in the water by yourself, and you can't have, when you start having some of the people the panicking, and some people do, it's like this is a kind of a self journey. This is a Viking journey. And it's about setting intentions. So with this new moon, whatever it is that you're going to do, whatever big changes that you're making, what specific area it is for you, I want you to write down the best possible situation. And it's okay to talk about your concerns. It's okay. Don't be fearful that you might be manifesting things just to purge it. Because right now, this new moon, and Mercury says we're going to see the details as we start to spin. We're going to notice them. Let them come and pass. Let it go. See a ripple in the water and think shark, think this, think that, think da-da-da-da-da-da. Let it go. Just focus. What about yourself? Just worry about yourself. And you're going to see the answers later when you finally get there. Right now, it's kind of focus on where you're going. And these moments of deja vu are not the you took a wrong turn. It's the universe going, remember when you were in this relationship and you had these issues? Dave Coulier, that cut it out. Oh yeah, remember this? Remember how that person screwed you over? If it looks and smells and walks and quacks and sheds and tastes and all that like a duck, let's just move on. Hey, can I go to your island? I don't know where I'm going. I don't know where you heard island at. Who knows? I might even just be swimming out into the never never. It's really about these moments of deja vu serving as validation for you. Saying, remember how sidetracked you got last time? Remember how emotional you got last time? Do you remember what lessons you learned there? Praise the goddess in the heavens above. Thank all the spirits and the demons and all of the love. I'm so happy that I'm in a better place right now. And you look at that and you think, man, I'm such a different person. And I'm so thankful for the changes I've made. I'm like a forged in fire champion. I am like hardened metal, kukri, magic. And I got this way because of these things. And you take a breath and you let go of old karma. You let go of expectations. You let go of resentment. You see the deja vu and you're like, I see you, universe. Shaking that thing. Sending those signs, and you take it and you use it and you're thankful. So let's see. What do I want to make sure I don't miss here before I get crazy? For me, Gemini is a wanderlust feeling. And what do you say? For me, it's perfect because, like I said, I'm in the last 3 days of a big life move. Going from the city that I've lived in since 2009 to 14 acres out in the middle of nowhere where I'm miles away from the next living person, where it's me, my dog, some chickens, and a hedgehog, and you, whoever else out there is willing to join me on this self-explorative, is that a word, explorative? Yeah, sure, journey. But Sarah, I tuned in for psychic things. You're telling me a lot of things that I read on the Garfield horoscope. Give me something special, Sarah. Okay. Do you want some special astrological, what maybe I learned when I did all that reading? Yeah, some special things. Okay. Something that I don't want to miss out and leave you hanging on is that Mars will be in retrograde as well. And when Mars is in retrograde, it started on June 8th, and it's actually not going to come full circle till the end of September. So as you make these big life changes, these big conversations happen, these big rifts and things, the spiritual earthquakes are happening. Stuff isn't going to terribly settle till the end of September. Mars is the warrior god, Mars is, I'm going to make change. And it's fire and it's physical. It's very visceral and physical. So actual physical change, like what you do every day, what you touch, what you breathe, what you see, what you smell. And those repetitive things that are happening, those little loops that are happening, those little multiverses that we're touching into, those are going to really, that Cancer in retrograde is going to pull up trauma. It's going to pull up, how do you react to trauma? Oh yeah, remember that? Oh, you don't like grief? Dead. Somebody gonna die. Oh, you don't like that? Okay, well remember, you're gonna have these PTSD moments of trauma in some of those deja vu. And it's really time now for you to know that, like, I don't need that out here in the open water. And when I get to where I'm going, I don't think I'm gonna need it anymore. Wow. Wow, I don't need to repress or fragment or fracture or deny or avoid or exaggerate or play victim to. I don't have to identify with that anymore. And Mars can be sexual identity. So there's going to be a lot of maybe even some sexual trauma, actual physical sexual abuse, people dealing with molestation and rape and maybe genital mutilation, sexual identity, deep-seated, rooted, fiery, alchemical change, spirit change, know thyself change. And this is a really great time to do that. And the new moon today is the perfect opportunity for you to take all of the energies around you and use them to the best of your ability and to meditate with them and say, you know what? It's not just me. It's a little Mars in retrograde. And you don't have to say it. You don't have to sound like a crazy person. You can blame it on me. But let it guide you and let it give you connection to others around you and to the universe. Let it give you a little insight and a lot of love, and hopefully by the full moon on the 28th, full moon on the 28th, we're going to have some major stuff going on. So get out your white candles, start making some light, meditate and ground. Right now is you out in the dark open water forest doing some wanderlust and some soul searching, and I'm excited for you, and I'm with you, and we're all kind of with each other on this one. But I'll see you at the other end. And don't forget, join me online at Instagram and give me your comments and feedback. And if you ever want to join me on this journey, you can always reach out for private readings, classes, and mentorship as well. Or you can just join me here and subscribe, and I'll see you when I see you. All right, guys.
on a jailbreak.